Hello, Kat.
Hello, Tiffany.
How are you?
Doing all right. A little warm over here. How about you?
Will be tomorrow.
Yeah, we're recording this the week after the huge heat wave in Europe that killed 1,000 people in France, and we're about to have one in the U.S. And
Yeah, it's going to be, I think Joe said it's going to be like 100 and something, 100 plus on 4th of July here.
yeah,
So,
East Coast isn't up for that. I mean, that's Texan. I mean, that's,
yeah, it is.
but
So, welcome to the new world.
yeah.
Or not. We can fix it. That's what we're here
Yeah,
for.
that's what we're here for. Let's talk about, I mean, yeah.
Perennial
hope.
vegetables will fix
Perennial
it.
vegetables are going to fix everything.
Okay. So, on that note, what if I told you there are vegetables you plant exactly once and they just show up again the next year and you harvest them year after year after year. No starting seeds, no replanting, no fussing.
Yeah, I would say I know about this because I've done research in that vein because of our topics this season. But I think it's not something I know very much about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
because I would think of like perennial fruit, perennial like berries, fruit trees, but vegetables, that's news to me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, the catch is that some of them taste terrible. They may take over your entire yard, or they might produce roughly enough food to garnish a single taco.
Ah, yes. Okay. Sounds about right.
So, there is a catch, but today I'm sharing which ones are actually worth it and which ones you can safely ignore. So,
All right.
You don't have to spend years learning the hard way. Welcome to Greening Up My Act. Is that just me, or did that sound like weird circus music?
I think it might be you. It sounded like our theme song to me.
It must be my connection, because it was like.
Oh, sounded fine on this end. I hope our recording agent got the non-circus version.
It was like a record slowly
Oh no.
down. So yeah. Anywhoosies. Yeah, that's what we're chatting about today.
Yeah, perennial vegetables.
Yeah, sort of this like glorious idea.
I guess, okay, maybe this is off topic, but the difference between perennial and annual is something. Do you know what the official difference is between them?
Yeah, I mean, so annual is something that only lives for 1 year. So
Okay.
or like one season.
Okay.
And then it dies and does not
Okay.
ever come back.
Okay. I thought an annual came back every year. There's my issue.
I always thought that too. It does seem like it should because it's called annual.
Right.
But that
But it
just
means you have to plant it every year.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's two different kinds of perennials. There's like fake perennials that I'll talk about in a little bit.
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Yeah. I mean, they still are pretty cool. So, yeah, welcome to our show. If you're new here and you're wondering who the hell we are,
Yeah.
we can tell you.
Yeah. We are two normal girls who, some of us are still in marketing, some of us have former careers in marketing. We love research, and we have this drive inside of ourselves to do better by the earth. And so we got together and we're like, what are some things? Because, a lot of the time it feels like when it comes to climate change or, carbon fuel usage and things, like, we don't have a lot of control over that. But as everyday people, like, what actually makes sense and what can we actually do? And also, can we distill this into 45 minutes so that you don't have to go down the same research rabbit holes that we do?
Yes. Yeah, we try to do the research so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned a lot over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like
Changed my life.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because it's been
Yeah.
over 100 episodes. So we've looked into 100 plus topics, products,
Yeah.
and other things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I'm also starting a sustainable landscape design business. So I know a little bit about plants, but I am still learning, and also I have never ever planted perennial vegetables
Okay. I was gonna say.
ever. Which it's mostly because I don't plant a lot of vegetables, but
Fair.
am starting this year because if you listen to was that our last episode?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where I was like, the end is near. Plant your own veg. Which, and then there was a peace accord of some kind, and then a violation of the peace accord. So I say it still stands. Plant your own vegetables if you can.
No, I know. It's not, yeah. Even whatever happens with Iran, it still fits. It's still, there's still a coming food crisis that nobody is talking about, nobody knows about. That's in the next 15, 20 years. Like, it's going to happen. I do want to try some of these perennial vegetables.
Okay.
And we'll get into what and what
Is worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in too. Because I have a boyfriend gardener who I think maybe he's kind of quit listening to our podcast, unfortunately, because it's like he knows already, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He already knows everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess Sean.
He's going to listen to this in 5 years and be like, the hell?
Fine. No,
Yeah.
it's fine. So, yeah, a little bit about my sources. I had a couple. So I used this, the main one that I used was the sort of like an opinion piece. It was a Substack, actually, from this woman named Amy Manning about all of her experience with perennial vegetables. It's called Perennial Vegetables, Mostly Duds. Foreshadowing.
Just to know, yeah. She didn't bury the lead there in the title. Okay.
Another one was growveg.com. They had just more about perennial vegetables. Ruralsprout.com also used them. University of California had a study about perennial vegetables, interestingly enough. Nature.com had a scientific report. There was a PLOS One.
Yeah, that's the science.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always like,
noticed
plus one, but I think it's plus one. I forget to.
I never
don't
know
if it's an acronym or if
it's got
it's plus one.
Yeah. But they have a study that I used, and then I used Martha Stewart's blog.
She is a great resource for these things.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, is plus one the Public Library of Science? Would that?
Oh, that would make sense.
That would be the acronym I would use, but okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, what are we talking about today? Perennial vegetables. In other words, vegetables that come back every year for at least 3 years.
Okay.
So sometimes it's not forever, but
right.
It's at least 3 years.
I'm thinking like mint.
That's one of the herbs, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But it just never dies, basically.
No, I know. It's aggressive as hell. It'll take over. Don't plant mint with your other... In your actual
you put it in
garden.
a pot. That is container gardening 101. Yeah.
Yeah. So the difference, like I said, there are two types of perennials. One is a true perennial, one is a faux perennial. The true ones do actually grow back every year, just kind of on their own. The fake ones, the ones that are giving you the fake out, they actually self-seed, and then the seeds grow the next year.
Oh,
as long as they're allowed to seed.
Okay.
So you have to let them seed, in other words. So, like, a bunch of flowers do this that people think of as perennials that aren't really, like black-eyed Susans.
They just reseed themselves.
Yeah, they reseed, but they do it so effectively that they're basically perennial. So.
Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so that's a perennial vegetable. A lot of fruits do this, and for some reason, vegetables are much harder to find.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, why?
I don't know. I'm wondering if it's because we've cultivated vegetables to hell and back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm wondering about that too because I think we've talked about this. I was listening to one of the podcasts I fall asleep to, and they were talking about our ancestors in the medieval era would have gardened these weird root vegetables that we never see now because they're too hard to farm on a giant scale. And
Yeah.
I think about that all the time because they're oddly shaped, so they're impossible to pick or to sort. These things that our ancestors like lived off of
Interesting.
no longer exist in our food, and you can't like nobody's growing them, so you can't like buy them at a specialty grocery store or anything. They're just not done anymore, and it was something
Wow.
that we wouldn't recognize what our ancestors ate that they cultivated themselves because it doesn't exist anymore. So
That's really interesting. And I wonder if if it would taste to us like garbage or if it would be tasty. I don't know.
I think they're pretty tasty. Like some of the root vegetables they're talking about are basically like parsnips. It's just parsnips and carrots are more uniform,
Okay.
so they're easier to pluck and
I personally hate parsnips, but that's
Oh.
okay.
I like them in they have to be in certain conditions, like a lot
Okay.
of butter,
Yeah. I might eat it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because fruit is like raspberries come back like
Yep.
crazy,
Apples.
strawberries,
Yeah.
apples, yeah, fruit trees,
Yeah.
um,
Figs, pomegranates.
yeah. I don't know many fruits, blueberries. Like I don't know many fruits that don't. Bananas do.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I know.
Because they're all, trees. So
Pineapple?
generally, or bushes.
I think that just keeps growing. I mean, it's
I think
tropical,
so,
so
too.
that doesn't really die back. Yeah, I don't know. It's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, there are fewer vegetables that will come back and that you don't have to replant every year. So there are three sort of eco-friendly claims, but like, yeah, I guess they're like basically like claims, greener claims that like greener ideas around using perennial vegetables versus annual vegetables, which are like tomatoes, beans, peas,
corn.
carrots,
Yeah.
potato, yeah, everything.
We generally plant in terms of vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one is you can plant them once and harvest them for years. So that's just like less consumption in general because you just keep producing out of that same plant. Second one is that it supports many pollinators, or these plants support many pollinators. The third one is that these plants can become a carbon sink,
Oh,
which is really interesting.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because for a lot of reasons, they keep growing. That's how, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll
Some
talk about
processing.
it a little bit. Yeah, no, it is really interesting because I was I don't know, I didn't like not believe this stuff, but I was just a little bit skeptical of it for some reason.
Well, yeah, because that's your job here on
Well,
the
that's
podcast.
true. That is true. But we'll get into why I shouldn't be, maybe. So the first claim, plant them once and harvest for years. I didn't look into this too much, but it is true. It can be true as long as these things don't die. Right. And from what I understand, from
Keeping
what I was
things alive.
reading, some of them are really tricky to keep alive. I haven't tried it myself, but I did read quite a bit about other people trying it, and they're just like, my God, did I have trouble.
That may be why we don't continue to plant perennial vegetables, if they're
Yeah.
difficult.
I think so. And some of them take up to like 3 years maybe to actually
To, like,
start
really fruit.
producing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But if you can get them established, and they are the type of plant that's going to last a long time, and you keep them alive, then yes, you can harvest them over and over and over. So that's pretty cool. It's a really cool idea. And we're going to
Yeah.
get into which ones will do that. But
Okay.
the second claim is that they support many pollinators. And I was kind of like, well, a lot of like annual plants support pollinators as well.
Right. And we've talked about like native pollinators want native pollen, you know. So are these perennial vegetables in that genre or not, you know?
Right. Well, it depends on what it is, but I found out that actually, so some people eat nettles. Do you know what nettles
Oh,
are?
yeah, yeah. They're
Okay.
kind of like thistles. I mean, they're
Yeah. They're very spiky and they can really hurt like hell, but there are ways to remove the nettles.
yeah.
Have you ever like run into nettles in your life?
No, I don't
Okay.
think they are native to anywhere that I've lived.
Right.
Really.
Yeah, I have, and it's very painful.
Yeah.
But some people eat them, and they claim lots of medicinal properties, and they're
course.
supposed to be like insanely good for you. That's the other thing about perennial plants is like a lot of them, like I said, don't taste great, but they're like superfoods. So
Yeah.
it's hard. But nettles are actually a crucial butterfly host plant, and
Yes. Okay.
there are certain species of butterflies that only eat like nettles. That only
Okay.
like
Only pollinate
rely
nettles.
on
Yeah.
nettles. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. And rhubarb also has. I looked it up. I was like, is rhubarb a fruit or a vegetable? It's technically a vegetable,
Right.
even though it's always used in fruity pies.
This might be something we should point out. Like, there is no real technical. Anything that grows out of the earth is a vegetable. We use it in layman's terms to mean savory grown things that we eat.
Oh,
But
that's
vegetable,
interesting.
yeah, fruit is actually a technical term. Fruit means anything that bears its own seeds, kind of like mammals have mammary glands and feed their young. But vegetable is not a scientific term for
Oh.
a specific type of plant.
That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah. So anything that grows out of the ground can be a vegetable. We just don't say that in everyday terminology. We
Okay.
think of savory,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
because, technically fruits are, we use fruit to mean anything that's sweet that grows out of the earth.
Yeah.
But it's really anything that has its own seeds.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like cucumber.
Fruit.
Okay.
Banana,
awesome.
technically a berry.
Whoa, that's wild.
Yep. So, yeah. And I don't know the distinction between a berry and another kind of fruit, but yeah. Anything that has the seeds, but nuts are not fruits. I don't know what the distinction is there either. But yeah, basically, but they're all vegetables.
Okay.
It's not a
Whoa.
scientific term. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't use it in science to be like, well, this is a vegetable and this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
fruit. So
Which is so funny because it was like a whole ordeal when we switched the tomato from a
Yeah.
vegetable to a fruit.
yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, no, it's kind of like I learned that like a murder of crows is not anything science based. It's actually, I think, by an author or somebody,
Yeah.
like somebody who's not a scientist came up with
Yeah.
all of these terminologies for groups of animals. And yeah, scientists are like, we don't actually use that.
actual scientists would care about the genus and the species, not, oh, it's a fruit or it's a vegetable or it's a, the taxonomy of animals is not like, they don't really care what a group of sheep is called either,
Right.
but it's just us English majors who,
Yeah, no, I think it's so interesting. And that's why they're so flowery, like a
Yeah.
murder of crows or
a congress of owls.
yeah, I think I don't know if this is true, but in a book of Charlie's, it said that a group of hummingbirds is called a charm.
That sounds about right.
I
thought it
know.
was
I'm like,
something
that's
like that.
adorable. But yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely like a fiction writer who
Yeah.
came up with these. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty awesome.
What was it? A glimmer of, I don't remember. Somebody did them for horror creatures. It's like a
Oh,
vexation of zombies, and
I was
I
going to
love
say
that
a
stuff.
glimmer would be good for like lightning bugs or something.
yeah. But there's all kinds of, those are fun ones, but they're not official. Yeah, they're not science.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's again, somebody in the 19th century sat around and said, "What are we going to call a group of crows?" Well, we call them a murder
Yes. Because that's what I think.
because it's poetic.
Yes. Yes. Now we know about fruits and vegetables. Everything's a vegetable. But like I was saying, annual edible plants are the same. So there are like squash bees that come out specifically for squash, and squash is like different types of squash, but squash is annual. There are specialist bees on blueberries, on cranberries, the flowers of pumpkins, winter squash, melons, gourds. Like all of these things have bees that rely solely on them.
Very specialized insects.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that they're certainly not wrong when they say that they're good for pollinators, because they are. And if nobody's planting rhubarb or what was the other one?
Nettles.
That's a problem.
Right.
So I guess even if we're not going to eat them,
It might be worth, having.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've never tasted it, so I'd be curious to try it.
Nettles? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never tried nettle. I've definitely had rhubarb quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we all have. It's been stuffed in with strawberries.
Yes, which I love. It's so good together. Such a good combo.
I do love a rhubarb. One summer when I was living in France, when I was a teenager, my host family had homemade rhubarb compote, which is just like kind of like a jelly. Yeah. And I was just like, I would eat it by the spoonful, It was delicious. I like tart things though. So
yeah, same. Me too. It can't be too sweet.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have to let it bolt or flower and let it go to seed to be that useful for pollinators. So,
okay. Yeah.
Or birds.
And then it's not sweet usually once you let something go to seed.
No, that usually ruins it.
Yeah.
As far as the flavor.
For eating.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. And some of these might flower as they grow, it's an annual, but like squash will flower and then the flower will turn into the fruit. The vegetable, I mean, the
technical term.
Yeah, whatever.
The murder of crows. Yeah.
It turns into the murder. Yeah. Okay. And so the last claim is that it will become a carbon sink. And this one was really interesting because I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But it does make a lot of sense. So perennial vegetables have a much deeper root system than annuals. Much deeper. An asparagus root, do you want to guess how deep an asparagus root can go?
1.5 inches. Oh no, is it a perennial?
Yeah, sorry. Asparagus is. Yes.
A foot then.
10 to 15 feet.
That's a tree.
I know.
That's a tree.
I know.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? And that's just hanging out.
Just in your yard.
Yeah. And so the idea is that these deep root systems sink carbon from the air into the ground much better than shallow root systems, which I believe.
Sense. Yes.
Think about trees, like you said.
Yeah.
And you also don't need to till the ground every year. So that keeps that carbon
in there.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I actually found 2 studies that showed that this is true. So one said that perennial vegetables have potential to increase carbon sequestration in vegetable production and address nutrient deficiencies, which is another thing affecting over 2 billion people. In that study, they're mostly talking about tree vegetables like olives or the spinach tree, which I think is like a specific type of tree.
Okay. Never heard of a spinach tree.
Yeah. So I think it's like a tropical, it's either in an arid region or a tropical environment. It doesn't help me much, but it is interesting that so those perennial vegetables, because there aren't that many perennial vegetable studies out there, right? But
yeah.
It's interesting that that study did find that those perennial vegetables can probably help with like carbon sequestration, which is pretty cool.
Olive tree makes perfect sense. It's a tree. Again, a fruit. Olive, technically a fruit, but yeah. Huh. Okay. I mean, I'm starting to think I probably know what the perennial vegetables are. I'm guessing, asparagus, broccoli, some of the...
Not broccoli, actually.
Broccoli isn't? Okay.
No. Broccoli's a bitch. I planted some broccoli, and I don't even know why I bothered.
Yeah.
It was such a waste of time.
Yeah, we tried here, too. It's a cold weather vegetable, first of all.
Yeah, I think I first off did it the wrong... Although I followed the package directions. Yeah. And now let's take a break. And then we'll talk about, is this something a normal person could do or afford? And we'll also get into what the vegetables are that are perennial.
I'm stoked.
It did it again. That's
Did it? It sounded fine to me.
so weird.
Oh,
I don't know what is going on. I'm sure it'll sound
wild.
fine in the end, but it was like kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe I have the Victorian child ghost in my
Harry
house.
Vetch has moved in with you. Yes.
Oh, Harry, get out of here.
Oh, Harry Vetch.
Okay. So is this something a normal person could do? I would say more than afford do is the problem with perennial vegetables. As far as Amy Manning is concerned, her experience has shown that the harvest from these is often quite small and it's only available for a short period of the year, or the flavor or the texture sucks.
Fair.
And she's in Oregon and they have, I would think, a longer growing season than us.
In Oregon?
Yeah. Right?
They have less sun, I would think. I mean,
Yeah.
so Texas, the growing season in Texas is from like March to November because it doesn't get cold here.
That's true. It's just so dry, but I was just thinking because it's so
and
wet.
hot. Yeah, the wet.
But
But
yeah,
I think
you're right.
I think the sun. It just depends on the plants, right?
Yeah.
So the sunlight goes away. You know, they have longer days in the summer than those of us. There's Archie barking.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us down south here, whatever. But they have less sun in the other months.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, just because it doesn't get as like cold, but anyway,
yeah,
she's
it
in
doesn't
Oregon.
have as sharp of a season and change. It's just
Yeah.
the light, I would think. But yeah.
So the ones that she says are worth it: artichokes.
Okay, I was gonna say I think artichokes are okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Well, they're kind of like a thistle. I think they were cultivated from
True.
thistles, or
Oh,
you know,
yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
I wasn't sure because they are such a big plant.
yeah,
Like the plants themselves, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're huge.
they're enormous. Yeah,
And then it's like a little tiny artichoke.
yeah,
But if you have space, then yes.
Okay.
She says that these are worth it, which is cool because like I love artichokes.
I also love artichokes. They are a lot of work to eat.
Yeah,
You know?
they are. Which kind of makes it more enjoyable. 'Cause
It
you're
does.
like,
You
I've
like have to.
done the thing.
Yeah, I love artichokes.
Yeah, you can grow them in USDA hardiness zones from 7 to 11.
Okay, so I could grow in here. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm gonna plant an artichoke tree in my front yard, and Sean's gonna be like, "What the hell is this?" And I'll be like,
Yes.
artichoke tree,
I think it's less of a tree, but
bush,
it's like bushy,
like an
yeah.
agave plant kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Asparagus is worth it,
Okay,
but
makes
that
sense.
takes 2 to 3 years
Okay.
to actually produce any sort of edible plant. I think maybe it stalks the first year or two, but
They're not delicious.
Yeah, either you can't eat them or they don't taste good. I'm not sure.
They're like woody, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I think so. She also says chives are worth it. They come back, which I would consider that an herb, but
Still a vegetable.
there you go. There's one called corn. There's a couple I've never heard of. One called
Okay.
corn salad. Have you heard of this?
No.
Or lamb's lettuce.
I
It's also
think-
known as lamb's lettuce.
No. I haven't. I'm thinking lamb's ears, which are decorative.
I know,
No.
same. Yeah, it's a small herbaceous plant that you can eat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she says it's worth it. Apparently, it tastes delicious. That might be some of the like little green ones come in the winter when there's not much else. So it's kind of
Okay.
nice, even though they're small, to have like something
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
Garlic, she
Okay,
says is
yes.
worth it because that's super easy to grow. I just went to Indiana and I saw my aunt's garlic, and it's like kind of taken over a little bit actually.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like be careful, I guess. But it's really easy to pull, so it's not really like that big of a
Right.
deal. She's
Yeah.
like, I have so many of them, but I can just pull them up and then dry them and then use them.
And then you need them. Yeah.
Yeah, and she gave me a couple, so I'm hoping to be able to like replant them, but we'll see if
Oh,
it
nice.
works.
Okay.
And then I'll have a whole yard of garlic. probably.
Yeah. You're just like, hey, yeah, garlic and
Welcome
artichokes.
to my garlic home.
No vampires here.
Plant them by the front door.
Yeah.
Another one that I've never heard of is Good King Henry,
Okay, no.
which I'm like,
Somebody made that up. What?
yeah, like when? I'm thinking like, was
When have
this
we had a good King Henry? Let's be honest. The most famous one is Henry VIII, and I don't think anybody got named Henry after that,
right?
specifically for that
Yeah.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like somebody trying to suck up to the king. They're
Yeah.
like, I named this.
Shakespeare.
Right. Yeah. So it's
What's
a
it? Yeah.
perennial spinach. It's a type
Perennial
of
spinach.
spinach.
Okay, good King Henry.
Or it's like spinach.
I do want to note that I know that Shakespeare wasn't under Henry VIII, but he was under Elizabeth, who was Henry VIII's daughter. Okay, everyone, please don't come yelling at me.
Do you think people would actually comment on
And
that?
King James, yeah.
You never know.
Oh,
You
well,
never know.
yeah.
Also hops.
Okay.
She
Yes.
says it's worth it, which I'm kind of
But
like,
they're hard to grow. I think I've heard. Well,
okay,
maybe
I don't
just
know. I know nothing.
but yet they're supposed to be because you can make tea with them. Mm-hmm. You don't just have to brew beer with them.
Okay.
You can do all kinds of different things with hops. But okay,
Yeah.
Sure.
She says it can take over though.
yeah,
I think I said she's in Oregon. So yeah.
right. It's probably because
Maybe they like
they're hard
water.
to grow here where there's not enough water, or in
Yeah.
New Mexico. Because I know there was one brewery downtown in Albuquerque that had these really cool sculptures set up, and they were planting hops, but they just couldn't. It was too hot and too dry to keep them
Oh,
alive
okay.
in the
Bummer.
summer. But you think they're from like Germany? Hops are like
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
true. They like
they
the
like
cold, maybe even.
milder climates. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one I never heard of: miner's lettuce.
Nope. To go with the sheep's lettuce or the lamb's lettuce? Okay.
Yeah. This one is actually a faux perennial, but
Okay.
it comes back. And it's this. Oh, this is one of them that's available midwinter, but it's a
Oh.
small green, earthy kind of spinach-like
Okay.
green thing.
Cool.
What are those? Microgreen. I think
Microgreen.
maybe I don't know if you could call it a microgreen, but it's like that.
Pseudo microgreen.
Yeah.
Faux perennial pseudo
Yeah.
microgreen. We've got all these great band names coming out.
Yeah,
of this
there you go.
episode.
That would be a funny band name, faux perennial. Nettles, she says, are worth it.
Okay. If you can figure out how to.
Yeah. I think you just boil it. I think what she said is it's not as hard as people think it is, and you just boil it, and you can get the
Okay.
horrendous nettles off of it. But one more is a nodding onion, which is a type of onion. I didn't really look into any of that. I don't know what it is, but it's a perennial and it comes back because most onions don't. So
Right.
that
You have
is
to
interesting.
replant. Yeah.
Rhubarb, she says, is worth it. Mushrooms, kind of separate because they're not really in the same category. But she had two that she's like, these aren't really perennials technically, but they are worth growing. And she says mushrooms, and I'm like, now I'm kind of curious about mushrooms. I don't have anywhere. Well,
You're going to create a grow house. I can see it.
I
You're
know,
gonna have.
right? I mean, people grow them in their closets.
I
but-
know. Usually for nefarious purposes.
Well,
but,
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, they go. That's the joke is you just feed them bullshit and leave them in the dark. And
Didn't you say that was what your like ideal life would be, to be a mushroom?
no, that's what my friend used to say about being a software developer.
Oh, okay.
He's like, our job is you feed us bullshit and leave us in the dark, and we grow like mushrooms.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. She also said cherry tomatoes are really good at self-seeding. So
Yes,
you
they
basically
are.
just like let them drop and
Yeah.
let the seeds.
And yeah, I had when we planted them 5 years ago, and my first roommate was living here. We had a whole bush of them the next year. Just
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. And apparently the cherry variety is better, but I've
Yes.
actually had others come back.
self seed.
Yeah.
Our basil is self seeding right now, but it's not in a place that it really can. We let our basil from last year like go to seed. It's taking forever though. But
It's
we
like
don't
really
have
small.
No, it's just taking because we were cutting it.
I
We
see.
started growing it last. I think our neighbor gave us some last June, and we just didn't let it die over the winter. And every time the flowers come, we'd trim it off, so it kept growing. And now it's this. It's so spicy.
Yeah, it changes the flavor if it gets
Yeah.
older.
but apparently it can self-seed too if it's in, because right now we have it in like a window pot. But what it does is it, goes to seed, dries out, and then tips over and will replant, if it's got earth there to replant. It doesn't. So we're actually harvesting the seeds. We've actually got some growing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's
from
fun.
seed. But yeah.
That's awesome.
So it'll self-seed.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So the ones that she says are less worth it, you may have never even heard of these. Hang on. No, you probably have never heard of any of these. But
Okay.
just so you know, it's kind of funny. So there's a Jerusalem artichoke. Have you heard of
Yes,
this?
I've heard of Jerusalem artichokes.
Have you ever tasted it?
No.
Did you know that it's nothing like a regular artichoke?
I do believe I have heard that, yes.
Okay, I didn't. And I looked it up and I was like, what the F is this thing? It's a little potato, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she says it takes up a ton of space and you get a very small harvest.
Okay.
And Amy says she didn't like the taste.
Okay.
But that's personal, so who knows. And then she also says that she found certain types of onions, like Egyptian walking onions or potato onions. There's lots of onions.
Mm-hmm.
They were too small to bother with.
Okay.
So try
Not
your
worth it.
nodding onions apparently instead.
Yeah.
There's also one called salad burnet. Salad burnet. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, that's correct, but it
Okay.
sounds like not a real word. It's like an herb and it tastes like a cucumber, and Amy says it's too small to bother with.
Okay.
And then the last one that's funny, sea kale. Sea kale, like kale
Yes.
from the sea.
Yeah.
It's not actually from the sea, but she says it tastes the way broccoli smells when it has been in the fridge way too long and starting to decompose.
Probably really good for your digestive system.
Oh,
but
I think it's super good for you, but
yeah,
it
just
tastes
fiber and
horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe maybe you could acquire the taste. I don't know.
Or hide it in enough dressing.
Yeah, and I think other people actually on the forum that I was looking at said that they like the taste. So it's really up to
It's like
other
Malort.
people, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what?
Malort.
What's that?
It's a liqueur from Chicago, basically.
Oh.
It's someday I'll have you try Malort. It's kind of
Okay.
a rite of passage to kind of film people trying Malort for the
Oh
first time.
boy.
But a Chicago handshake, I think, is a shot of Malort and a Bud Light or something,
Whoa.
or
Okay.
a Schlitz. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Can't wait. Was it like people make it in their bathtub?
No. Malort is, there's a brand, Jepson Malort.
Okay.
It's made of the same. Oh, so I'm sorry. It's made of the same ingredients as like anise flavored
Okay.
drinks, like Ricard
what
or
I
pastis or
figured.
absinthe. Even it's got
Yeah,
the
I
same
was gonna
basis.
say
as-
absinthe,
It's wormwood, but it doesn't have the licorice flavor.
Oh, interesting.
So some people say it tastes like grapefruit.
I love
Those people are weirdos.
Okay. All right. I'll taste it whenever I finally come visit.
Okay.
So some tips, I guess, actually. So just one tip. Yeah, one tip.
Tip.
A tip. So most of these are low growers. A lot of them are low growers. So you can plant them among like tomatoes or peppers or like other plants. And that's a good approach.
Like
And-
garlic, I assume.
Yeah, it depends on the garlic. My aunt's garlic was huge.
Okay.
But
Chives
like
and stuff,
asparagus are pretty short, chives, all of those green things I talked about, the microgreens. As artichokes, no, those things are huge, but a lot of them are low. So you could just plant them throughout. And it can also, which is, I don't remember where I got this from, but it can act as a living mulch. A
There you
living
go.
edible mulch, even.
though. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that leaves less space for weeds to get in. We talked about living mulch in our mulch episode, which
Yes.
was more
Two-
entertaining than it sounds.
I know. Yes. Surprisingly entertaining. Mulch.
Yeah. Mulch.
Mulch. Mulch. That's where Harry Vetch came from. Actually.
Yes, exactly. So for busy people, you can add 1 or 2 perennial vegetables per year and just kind of test it out, see what
I'm
works,
just
see
gonna
what
go
doesn't.
straight into artichokes and just dive
Yeah.
right in.
I mean, hey, if that's your one, why not? I don't know if artichokes are hard to grow. They might not be.
There's got to be a reason I don't see them around Texas, though. You know?
Maybe in well, I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
look
don't
into
know.
it.
Yeah. Good look
Because
into
we
it.
are hardiness zone 8, and
Yeah.
that's not.
I
you
feel like
said there's 7
asparagus
to
would be
11.
harder for you than artichokes.
Oh, yeah.
but-
we think we're too hot for asparagus. Mm-hmm. I'll look it up. I'll see. I just
Yeah.
imagine it, like one by my front door, you know?
I was going to
just
say
like,
it's going to take up some space, but
yeah. Well, Sean
why
doesn't
not?
like the pomegranate tree, but I'm like, okay, we're planting an artichoke.
you know what? Maybe. Does he like artichokes?
Not as much as I do.
Okay. Well.
But he hasn't had my special dipping sauce that's
Ooh.
just garlic and mayonnaise.
Oh,
is that called
yum.
again? Oh, my brain is so... I cannot remember.
Not aioli.
words. Aioli, yes.
Oh, okay.
Just garlic and mayonnaise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made that once, and I was like, how on earth is this that easy?
It's so easy and it's so delicious.
Yes. It's so
So
good.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, surrounding perennial vegetables, does the earth-friendly message need to come back to earth? And I would say not necessarily. In fact, most people talking about perennial vegetables aren't really talking about their environmental benefits. And the PLOS One, the PLOS One study called them neglected and underutilized. So
Fair.
people aren't like touting this as like
Right.
The
They don't have a
next-
following on Instagram. Right.
No. Yeah. So I don't think it's like crazy. Yeah, there's no like greenwash. There's like none of that. So
There's no movement around them.
no,
They're not mushrooms, right?
No.
The way that mushrooms are.
no.
The stars.
Yeah, but as far as like their granola rating, which is something that we like to do at the end of every episode to sort of just rate them, I would put them right in the middle at chewy, just because some of them are so difficult to grow, and depends on your client. It just depends on so many things that they're chewy. They're like,
Okay.
if you can manage it and make it work, that's awesome. But
It's like a 3 out of 5. Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. People are like, what the F is chewy? I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, out of 5, it's like a 3. So it's right in the middle. So yeah, that's all I had. And
That's
45
perfect.
minutes,
Look at that. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding,
We're
ding,
like the
ding.
first, the World Cup is on right now. So it's
Yes. Yeah.
the first half is over.
Yeah, exactly.
We have 4 minutes of stoppage time.
So next week we are talking about food forests.
Food forests, which
Which
do
I'm-
have perennial vegetables.
You
to some
what?
extent. They use perennial fruits and vegetables.
This
to some
makes
extent.
sense.
Yes.
This makes sense.
Although I didn't study them as much as you did, so that's interesting. But
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited because we talk about food forests in my certificate course, but we don't have
Oh,
enough-
you're gonna know a lot more than I do. Then.
No, I was going to say I don't know anything. All
Okay.
I've heard is the term, but we haven't had time to actually go into what the hell they are.
Oh, okay.
And
well,
so I'm really interested because it sounds so cool, but I'm just like, in theory, I get it,
Yeah.
but I don't really know anything about them. So,
cool. Well, I do have some facts that I think will be.
oh, sweet. That's awesome. I'm excited.
Me too.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Well, if you haven't already, please, let me start the music. Please rate our show if you could and leave us a review. Just a couple
Yeah.
sentences about why you think we're awesome. I guess you could tell us why you think we're not awesome, but I don't care
That's
to see
better
that.
suited to an email. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
tell us why we're awesome publicly, and then take us
Yeah.
around back and tell us why we're
Exactly.
not privately. Yeah.
But that would mean a lot for
Yeah.
just a quick
We'd
5
love it.
stars.
Yep. All right. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank
See you next week.
Bye.